Hey everybody, welcome to the Blazin' River Show. This will be our first episode. I am Blazin' with my buddy here, River. This podcast is going to be about conspiracy theories and just exploring it and seeing what possibility we might come up with. Different topic every episode. Today we do have our guest with us. His name is Taco.
What up, what up? What topic are we talking about today?
Today we are going to be talking about the missing sub of recent
Oh,
news.
gotcha.
And for those who are watching on YouTube, that is why we are in a sub.
It
Man, I'm
definitely
glad you're here,
felt
River.
right. It definitely felt right. You know, with that whole topic, there's a few things that kind of caught my interest with it. Uh, I'm probably about to butcher this man's name, but one of the people on there was Shazda Dawood,
Okay.
Shahzada Dawood, D.A. Wood. But anyway,
Yeah.
so he happened to be a businessman, but he's an investor as well. He's a vice chairman of Ingro, director of Dawood and Hercules. Uh, these are both like Dawood Hercules is a management. It manages investment, so basically, it's managing people's money.
Mm.
So that kind of piqued my interest because I now would like to know whose money he's investing. Who would that benefit if they was to disappear?
Right. What did you come up with that?
Just doing some digging on Google.
Mm.
If you Google a man's name, it gives you a whole bio about his life, where he was and all that.
I tried Googling him earlier, and all I got was, more or less glorified obituaries of him. Like, I tried Googling him and his son, and it just basically was just like, you know, like you said, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name. I know they're from
Yeah.
Pakistani descent, so we'll just call him Shah and Sue, I guess. His son, and all it was just father and son tragically die on submarine crash, and I really couldn't find anything about his business ventures or
Me neither.
anything he was involved in as far as financially. I found out his son. The only interesting thing I found out about him that wasn't involving the submarine crash in particular was that his son was a college student, and that he originally didn't want to go on the adventure at all. He felt really
Yeah.
uneasy, really just uncomfortable with the whole situation. But the only reason he agreed to do it was for Father's Day, because it was over Father's Day, and he wanted to do this for his dad. And I'm assuming his dad probably put up the ticket price, the $250,000 for him in particular to go. I mean, I'm assuming
Of
this
course.
19-year-old doesn't have $250,000 running around.
Right.
So it's funny how you can't find anything on him except that he died.
About this. Yeah. Like I wanted to know because that's where my piqued my interest was the fact that he deals with people's money, but he's investing
Mm-hmm.
people's money. So whose money is he investing,
Exactly.
and who might that benefit? The reason why I brought that up was because the Titanic, the actual Titanic, what happened? The interesting thing about the Titanic was we all know there was a whole bunch of wealthy people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But something that's interesting is there was three individuals that were aboard the Titanic, but last minute they got off. One of them was a Rothschild, the other one was J.P. Morgan, and the other one was Milton Hershey. Milton Hershey's famous for the Hershey candy bar and all these other things. Uh,
Yeah,
J. J.P. Morgan was the one that
The
he's a
started
bank.
up the
banker.
Federal Reserve. And the
Yep.
Rothschilds, I don't think I need to say no more about Rothschild, just that name alone. So what was interesting about them all getting off, J.P. Morgan specifically, because he wanted to start the Federal Reserve Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but all those people, there was a couple of people that was on this ship, like John Jacob, Ashton Benjamin. I'm gonna butcher this man's name. Good Guggenheim, something like that. Anyway, they were all against the whole Federal Reserve idea. They were the ones holding up that whole process from happening. So it makes sense why them disappearing would benefit J.P. Morgan specifically, anyway.
I didn't even think about that.
So
that's why I read somewhere that the Titanic was also it was the actual ship that crashed wasn't actually the Titanic. It was like their sister ship or some shit.
It was
it was
something,
I got that right
something
here.
Olympia.
I got that
something
right here.
Olympia.
Yeah.
It was
Olympia.
the RMS Olympic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's I don't have the article in front of me. I hate to cut you off here, Blaze, but just before I forget, there's actually photo proof. You can count the portholes, the windows on the Titanic, and then go back and look at pictures of the Olympia. And there's, I want to say it's small. It's like 2 or 3 more windows. And then if you look at pictures of the Titanic on its final voyage, you can count the windows. It matches up to the Olympia, not the Titanic. So there's literal photo proof of it not being the exact Titanic.
Exactly. So there would be reason why they wouldn't want people to go see the Titanic, right? Because
Exactly.
Best that I can understand, the father and son combo, they like Stockton Rush. He was the CEO of the whole Ocean Gate company, and he was the pilot of it.
Exactly.
So he's tied into it in a different way, but I can't really see a reason why the father and son wanted to be there, other than maybe they just thought they were going to get to see something cool, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
So
I would do it.
Yeah, if I thought I could do it, but so there's like we just kind of went over a couple of things where the reason why the Titanic might be something they don't want people seeing, right?
Exactly.
So they kind of made that point with this sub imploding, quote unquote, but maybe they knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone, because at the same time when all this news was going on about the sub, it was released that J.P. Morgan, Jeffrey Epstein acted as an advisor for J.P. Morgan Bank.
Yeah, that's another
and
thing
they
I
just
read.
got sued.
Yeah. There was that. There was something about Biden being impeached.
Yeah.
And another one was like they made like it legal for labs to grow like chicken meat and shit. Yeah.
Synthetic shit. Yeah. Lab grown meat. Yeah. So,
I got something I want to add on that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Blaze. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
So, on the topic of not wanting people to see the Titanic and lawsuits, actually, there is a couple. I copied a lot of notes. Let me just skim through it here. There's amongst multiple lawsuits and whistleblowers. I'm just reading. This is an article I copied here. Forgot the source, so don't kill me for not sourcing it. But this is not my writing. This is copied. Among multiple lawsuits and whistleblowers now emerging over the company. This is talking about Ocean Gate. A Florida couple is now making headlines for the February lawsuit against the Ocean Gate CEO, Stockton Rush. And in a nutshell, I'm not gonna. I don't want. It's like a 4-paragraph thing, but basically, it's the couple booked the same exact what's the word I'm looking for? Adventure, outing, whatever you want to call it, to go see the Titanic through Ocean Gate, through Stockton Rush, personally. And over the course of 4.5 months, Stockton kept pushing off the date for the adventure. Kept pushing off, the sub's not ready,
Right.
Whatever excuse he was coming up with. And then eventually the company, the Hagels, I think is their name. Let me look at their names here real quick. So it is, the Hagels is their last name. Give me a second here, I'm sorry.
You're good, man. You're good. You're good.
I'm assuming it's pronounced Mark, M-A-R-C, and Sharon Hagel. Planned to visit the wreckage on board Ocean Gate sub in 2018. They were allegedly paid over $200,000 to participate in the expedition. Or I'm sorry, I misread that. They allegedly paid over $200,000 to participate in the expedition. And then, however, the trip was delayed, and couple never went on the voyage. The couple said Ocean Gate kept delaying their trip and refusing to give them a refund. So not only is he delaying their trip, he's holding $200,000 from these people. And the point I'm getting at here is it wasn't until June 19th of 2019 the Hagels received their final cancellation, and then they opened another lawsuit against him that was ongoing when the tragedy happened.
That could actually tie into them. One of them was them. Like I said before, one of them was trying them pretty much, fake killing themselves.
Right.
So that could be, yeah.
Like I said, just to wrap up what I was saying, like you said, with the whole not wanting people to see the Titanic, not only did the CEO of Ocean Gate steal $200,000 from these people, he essentially dragged them along for a year, and he was going through multiple lawsuits. They don't even list all the lawsuits. This is just the one that made headlines.
Right.
So who knows how many other lawsuits he was doing this to?
Based off the reports of how he, whether he did or didn't, ignored all the safety concerns, wouldn't be too far-fetched. And it seems like he's a man that's willing to risk it all to get what he wants type shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, you could be very right, man. They could just fake their death and they're on an island somewhere.
That's a very good point, too, because I'm sure you guys seen in your research that they were supposedly pulling up the parts from the sub with human remains in them. And I don't know if you guys looked into the implosion statistics.
Yeah, dude. Like
there's not going to be any human remains.
No, it's supposed to be like a tube of toothpaste.
It was supposed to happen so fast that they wouldn't have known it happened.
It was
I got the measurements
literally
somewhere.
Milliseconds is how long it was supposed to take.
Right here. I looked up this. It's so the inward movement would have been at about 1,500 miles per hour, or in perspective, 1 millisecond. And to put that in perspective, the human brain electrical functions, like when you say move your hand to your brain to your hand, that's 25 milliseconds. There's no way there's any human remains in any of that.
No, I do think that the captain of it knew something was wrong, because they were saying that they found the weights to take it down. I guess it was supposed to release or something, and they found them a few hundred feet away from the actual wreckage and shit. So I think the captain might have known something was going wrong, but I didn't think he realized how serious it was.
Oh no, he for sure knew something was going on, River. I actually have an article on that too. I don't know if you guys heard, there was a guy, let me look up his name here, hold on one second. David Lautrich filed a report identifying serious safety concerns, including improper testing of its carbon fiber hull, according to the court documents filed in Washington State. Lautrich, the David guy, told Rush that the vessel should be certified in classification agencies such as American Bureau of Shipping, but that never happened. The documents say instead Lautrich was fired. So this is I forget his title here. I cropped out of that part accidentally. But this was an employee of OceanGate who told the CEO that this vessel is not safe and needs to be certified. And instead of getting it certified, they fired the guy.
Yep, I read that. They're just now releasing that information. It just bothers me, man. You know, they knew about this shit. This shit all happened on Father's Day, you know, right? This all happened the same day.
Oh, yeah.
This happened on Sunday, but they dragged that out, 3 days?
Mm-hmm.
They dragged it out over the course of a week. It was almost Friday before anyone actually knew anything.
They knew all the answers. They just wanted that in your face. Why?
Yeah, they drugged it out through the news.
I mean, there's some things behind it. There's some things that's odd about the whole situation for sure, but overall, I feel like it was a distraction, but I do feel like they may have knocked out a few maybe pieces that might have been in their way. That's what I feel like about the father and son. That's why I wanted to know whose money he was handling.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where he worked with, was investing.
Yeah. And what was the other gentleman?
Who would that benefit him if he disappeared? Similar to how it was on the Titanic with the Federal Reserve and J.P. Morgan. Dudes dying on the Titanic benefited him greatly. We see that today too. Still.
And I might be making assumptions here, but I know with the Dad Woods being from Pakistani descent, obviously we all know Pakistanis, and Middle Eastern people, they all deal with oil and gas. So maybe it's something with the oil and gas companies, because we all know electric vehicles are making a big fucking movement right now, and that's taking money out of all their pockets. So maybe it's something with them over there overseas.
You follow the money, man, you'll find a lot of answers.
Oh, for sure.
It's definitely an odd situation, and one that I feel it's just one of the things that they wanted everybody to see. They wanted everybody looking over here.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, can I say the fact that like it's right in the middle of all the different sports too. Like football's done and over with. I don't even think NASCAR's on TV right now.
I think baseball's going on, but baseball is not as popular as it used to be.
Yeah. So like it's definitely one of those times where it's in the middle of nothing really going on.
Right, for people to be distracted by it naturally, yeah.
Yeah. So instead of putting all the important shit on TV, let's have this happen. If it is an actual setup, or you know, even a distraction, let's put this on TV. This way we can distract them from this, and this.
Facts.
Yeah. I never even thought about that, River, honestly. I never did. I'm not a sports guy, so I didn't realize, there's no sports going on right now.
He's right, though. This is like a dead part of the sports, yeah.
Yeah, I just happened to be watching YouTube literally right before this about this whole thing, just to make sure I had everything written down and everything like that, and that was one of the videos that I was watching.
Wow.
That's actually a very good point. It's a time when nobody's really got much to be distracted by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of them. One of them was like, they all often or faked their death because they were like, there was tax evasion. One of them was like tax evasion. The other one was like the whole lawsuits. That like there was a bunch of different ones. That's like one of the dude's son. He wasn't even fazed by the whole situation. The dude went out to a concert.
I heard about that.
While his dad was actively missing, mind you. It wasn't just like, oh, he went on the sub, he didn't know anything about it. No, his dad was actively missing. Like, everyone knew at that point that his dad was just missing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird. Like, if you personally, if my dad is missing, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go enjoy a concert.
How could you enjoy a concert?
Personally, I'm going to be like, all right, what's going on? So personally, if it is the fact that they faked their own death, I think he knew about it.
Of course. If it was a fake,
sure.
they'd be the only ones that would know about it, other than the people involved. If that's
exactly.
The case.
I did see a TikTok on that, River. And now, granted, this isn't cited. This is literally just off TikTok. But it was somebody saying that they saw a source saying that, I forget whose son it even was, but the guy's son that went to the concert, his statement on that, because people obviously questioned him on it, was, my dad would want me to be at my favorite band. I don't know about you, but I don't have the best relationship with my dad. But my dad sure in the hell wouldn't want me to be at a concert. He want me to be looking for him.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't buy that story for a second. I agree with you. He's on the inside somehow. He knows something nobody else knows. 100%.
It's just so much to it. It can't. It's not black and white like they're trying to tell us it is, man. There's so much more to this. This is not them. Even them telling us that he was just ignoring safety concerns and he decided to go the depth that he shouldn't have gone anyway. There's more to it than that, man.
There is. I mean, and it's like you said. There's got to be more to it because I don't know about you, but like hypotheticals here. Say I had the money and the capability to go on one of these adventures. I would obviously look into the company, and seeing that this company has all these lawsuits and this, that, and the other, I wouldn't go on it at all.
Yeah, especially at the cost of, what was it, $250,000?
Yeah, $250,000 a person.
See, then again, I think I read somewhere that like $250,000 to them was like filling up your car for us. So
I don't want to fill up my car. It's expensive.
So you fill up your car?
That's what I'm saying. So for them to take this trip was literally the price. For us, it would be considered like a vacation or like filling up the gas in our car. I mean, to us it seems like a lot, but I mean, still, like something's up with the whole thing, especially the whole son just being like so nonchalant about his dad dying.
Yeah. It's going to a concert. I mean, it's not even just a nonchalant thing, because people react to trauma or things like that differently. Oh, yeah. It's not always what you expect it to be. But him going to a concert's the red flag for me, because at the very least you'd think he'd be, I don't know, grieving, or sitting by his phone with his family, hoping for a phone call type thing, like.
Yeah, I 100% agree, Blaze. 100% agree.
I swear to God, if I go around this whole map and don't find a single shipwreck, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh man, we better find that shipwreck.
There was a sub one back there, but
wasn't the Titanic, was it?
No. Might have been the Ocean Gate.
Might have been the Ocean Gate. We found it. So,
but
they were quick to add that in there.
To kind of touch on the subject of the, Dogwoods, the father-son combo, and you were asking what would it benefit for them to be, gone.
Yeah.
I didn't find anything on them, but I found something on Stockton himself. So Stockton, when he started Ocean Gate, was partnered with, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm just gonna spell it because I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. First name Guillermo, then last name S-O with the two little dots over it, Hnlein. So him and Stockton started the company back, 2009, I believe it was. And then 2013, this 2013, this Guillermo guy bought out and became a majority stakeholder. So he's just a stockholder, just like me and you could be.
Right.
And then after that happened, Stockton made his wife and two sons equal but silent CEOs of the company. So I'm not saying his wife, did something, because obviously, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to convince your spouse to kill yourself or kill themselves. But
on top of 4 other people.
Exactly. But I think there might be something, as in, because you can't find much on. I think her name is Lindsay.
The lack of information is a little odd too.
Exactly, and she's the CEO of a company that Ocean Gate never released how much they make a year, but Stockton himself had an estimated worth of $12 million, and that's just him. And then Ocean Gate itself had a estimated value or worth, whatever you want to put it, of $66 million. So if you split that 3 ways and you don't have any, you're under the radar, you could do a lot of something with $66 million annual income.
Facts.
And no eyes on you.
For real.
So
that's off the map completely,
yeah. That's a thought of mine. Like maybe,
kind of going on the insurance scam kind of route type thing,
yeah.
Kind of like the Titanic theory. Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. All right.
Yep. All right. And I just found in my notes their names is Richard Ben and Quincy Stockton. They both are. They played majority roles in Ocean Gate. She was. I cut out her name, but I think her name's Lindsay. Was the president of Ocean Gate for the years between 2017 and 2021. As President Wendy Rush, I believe that's just a separate party, was director of communications of Ocean Gate. She was also one of the members of the board of the committee for Ocean Gate. Sorry, I misread that. For Ocean Gate's charitable community foundation. I'm sorry.
You good.
So this Wendy Rush, who's a third party, but nevertheless, both sons and the wife are on their charity foundation as presidents, and the wife and sons were also silent CEOs of the company. So, like you said, I think there might be some insurance scam, something going on. Yeah,
the
for
door's
sure.
definitely open for it. Now, how would the other ones play into it though? You think they were just the maybe they were just the unlucky
collateral damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a just part of a giant package deal. Because I know that what was his name here? Hamish Harding, the British businessman. Yeah. He had his hands in a lot of shit too. A lot of shit. And then the Dagwoods had their hands in a lot of shit. Stockton obviously did. The Paul Hearing, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but with the last name N. I didn't find anything on him. But I mean,
yeah, some of these people you're not finding literally anything on. I've tried. There's very little out there on some of them.
And that's what's a red flag for me, is the lack of information. Because I know we're in an era when people start looking into things.
Oh yeah, you Google everything.
Oh man, you can look at
it. So hear me out here. You ready? Now I just thought about this. What if the dude who ran Ocean Gate and controlled the sub and the whole nine, right? Right. He was in a lawsuit with 2-3 people losing money.
Oh, at least. There's only one of them that made headlines, but it said multiple on the source I found.
Okay, so what if they made this payment and these other people were just, because if they faked their death, what are the chances that they paid other people to fake their death too? This way it didn't just seem like just some random person faked his death. Or, was like, oh, I'm just going to take out the sub.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Instead
so you're saying
like
Stockton did this to get out of lawsuits?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying there. Yeah,
I mean...
Like, instead of Stockton got in a car accident type thing.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been a fucking fake because there was multiple people involved. I'm with you.
Because,
I feel you.
So, in a in an insurance fraud case, you can actually, like, one of them is, like, you can have a car. So say you're driving down the road and you need 3 people to box in a car. So say a car's on the right side of the road and there's no other lane. And you're on the interstate, you have one of your friends in behind the car, one of your friends in front, and one on the side. They can't go anywhere. The person in front slams on his brakes. The person in the middle hits both of you guys, and then the person on the side is a witness.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Big fucking chess move of insurance. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But instead of all of that, they just paid people to come with them. This way, when they did fake their death, it wasn't just I was just happened to be testing it out type deal. It was a whole publicity stunt because, like you said, what's his name? The dude who's involved, who was part of the whole Titanic thing as well.
Oh, J.P. Morgan.
Yeah. So what if J.P. Morgan was involved somehow and was like, okay, well, you have 2 options. Either, we kill you, or you kind of disappear. And that was just an option.
Okay. So, let me ask you this, a question on your question. Do you think the other parties, the Dagwoods, the Hardings, and the Nargolet or whatever, the Paul Herring, do you think they were just random people, or do you think they have their own vendettas and
reasons to disappear?
Reasons to disappear? Or do you think
Maybe
it was
a little
literally
bit of both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a mixture. Maybe some of them have their own vendettas and reasons to disappear, and then some of them just wanted to, disappear. Or hell, for all we know, we're not finding much on some of these people, so maybe, before it happened, they were just like, oh, let's just make up you a quick resume and say you were rich.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they'll believe it.
Okay.
They'll believe it. The masses will believe it.
I'm not saying you're wrong, River, because obviously this is all just thoughts. But the
It's
only thing I
speculation,
see with that is that Harding guy, he, as far as I could find, didn't have anything negative on him. He was crazy fucking successful. He's a fucking astronaut. He was a pilot.
Yeah,
he was a fucking multi-billion-dollar businessman. Like, he had his life set the fuck up.
Facts.
So, I agree with you. All these other guys, you can't find anything on. Who knows? But why would this guy want to disappear? What do you guys think about that?
Maybe he was in some shady deal that just no one knows it. Hell, for all we know,
Possibly.
It could be.
Bro,
he could be on that Epstein list.
Facts. Dude, this kid, that's a fucking good point, man, because, with the whole Epstein list, if it was ever to come out.
Oh, man,
speaking of which, they actually, speaking of that, so that was another thing, like Hunter Biden's laptop and shit, that they were going through emails and everything, and somehow they just all got deleted.
Yep.
While this
just like Hillary Clinton shit.
Yeah. Now, this is the second time that technically Hillary Clinton would technically be involved with emails being deleted.
Yep. What was the first one? It was Benghazi or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Benghazi was part. There was a bunch of there was a bunch of shit with that. It wasn't just Benghazi.
Yeah.
There was more than one.
That's a whole nother episode. We'll put a sticky note on that one.
this Harding guy, that's a good point.
That
maybe
is though.
His shit just didn't get brought to light yet.
Man, that's a good point, man. Because a lot of those names, like the names that I seen, were people I'd recognize. People like this wouldn't be somebody I'd recognize.
Yeah,
until now.
And
so it could be that all these people getting caught up with all that shit. That could be it. Wow, I never thought of that.
On a side note, I know in my notes here I got that basically all these companies, including Wikipedia, Forbes, Bloomberg, and other big like magazine websites, whatever you want to call them, all justify for this guy, saying that he's all he's just this guy that.
Can someone turn off the music for the sub?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know why, but I can't turn it off. I think it's because I'm in the back.
Yeah, I have my music off, so I don't hear anything. Yeah, I got you. So maybe on top of, his stuff not coming out, you have all these big, magazines and, sourcing websites, like I said, Wikipedia, Forbes, Bloomberg, just to name a couple.
I wouldn't say
That,
Wikipedia.
Well, okay,
Wikipedia
Forbes
is
and
not
Bloomberg.
Yeah, Forbes and Bloomberg for sure, yeah.
They vouch for this guy more or less, so maybe they also, they don't want, we're, putting out false information there, because we all know how the generation today is all over, fake news and false information.
Well, I mean, it's everywhere, man. You turn on the news, literally,
Yeah,
and you're being lied to. Even
right.
with the weather. Half the time they even write about the weather.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the news is definitely another whole
whole yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's a bunch of weird shit going on there.
Absolutely. So,
but I do think the most the biggest one currently is the whole them off faking their death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a seed right there.
And just real quick, I'm not gonna drag it out, but with the whole faking their death thing, and I know, I forget how he said Jeffrey Epstein's involved in this, or his lawyers, or whatever.
Yeah, because J.P. Morgan, it came out that he acted as an advisor for J.P. Morgan Bank.
Yep.
And J.P. Morgan Bank got sued for $290 million by the Epstein victims.
Yeah.
And the victims
were... I seen a thing on, this guy actually went to Little St. James Island, was just driving by it. And now Epstein's been dead for however long now. There's still people on the island, full production, full,
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's that island it's not even up for sale yet, as far as I know.
Well, we'll
and there's still people on there.
Put a pin note on that conspiracy.
Well, I mean, just with the whole faking their death, Little St. James Island's supposed to be this,
you're right,
private island that they could be on. That could just be their getaway, their hideout.
Yeah, maybe all these people could be, faking their death and going there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of celebrities should be dying here lately.
Mm-hmm. Or something like you said, put a pin in, but it's just it's something supposedly this island that's gone.
It still goes
not inhabited, but it's still fully staffed. Somebody's paying those people to be there.
Someone's got to be.
And there ain't no way that that's the only island.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
Now, there's especially, I mean, come on. You gonna tell me this dude just happened to be dealing with all that and only had one island to go to?
Just the one.
Yeah.
Just the one. Hope I don't get caught.
Yeah. Bullshit. Motherfucker.
I think that might have been his main island.
Right.
If anything.
But
boy.
I know you guys are getting close to here and wrapping up. So, what is your guys' final thoughts?
The final thoughts, man, is I'm leaning towards these people might be involved in more things than we realize because of the lack of information about them, other than just who they were CEOs of the company and stuff. But
yeah,
I kind of going with the whole possibility they might be involved with the whole Epstein Island ordeal.
Yeah.
This client list
it's
and all that.
It's ironic as shit that every time something like this happens, it's Epstein or J.P. Morgan was involved somehow.
Like right at the same time. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's tied together somehow, man. The question is how.
I agree. I mean, and after this conversation we all had here, I didn't hear anything about the whole faking their death thing, but it all makes a whole lot of sense now. with the J.P. Morgan being involved and him being involved with Epstein.
Yeah.
And, them disappearing, them finding human remains, and a situation I don't believe there could possibly be human remains. It all just seems like a bunch of smoke to me.
It does. Smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah, no, that shit's supposed to be like a fucking tube of toothpaste, just squeezing that shit out.
Yeah.
Alright. Anybody else got any more thoughts?
No, I think we covered just about every one of them. We came to
so.
a conclusion there.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate you
no
coming.
Problem. We survived
Absolutely.
the sub ride, so that's something.
Landed this fucker.
Oh, not the mullet. But
Oh.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
It's at least we survived. That's something.
Thanks. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Tune in for our next episode. River Rat, appreciate you. Taco, appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me, Blaze.
Wrong move.